But the reality of it is, if you want to have a conversation that's realistic, if you want to have a conversation that will really allow you to see things as they are, so you know what you're dealing with, so you can actually deal with the way things are, right? Is that then you have to let go of the idea that hope makes any difference. It doesn't make any difference what you hope. You're still going to die. You can hope. You can look at today and hope today is a good day. Right? It doesn't matter. That's the thing that's important, right? That hoping about things just doesn't matter. Now, it's a common convention, right? So, we say that, I hope you have a good day, I hope everything works out for you, blah, blah, blah. It's a convention, it's a courtesy, it's a polite way of being. But it has no foundation in truth. There just is no such thing. And then the other thing that these teachings tell us is the best way to deal with your death is to get it over with. Because the only death that's ever going to happen, right, is the death of who you consider yourself to be. If you think about your death, what you're thinking about is that who you take yourself to be is no longer here. That's the death. Who you take yourself to be is no. Now, I'm saying that's the general understanding, right? But if you study these teachings, that starts to get loosened up because you don't take yourself to be the body as strongly as you did. You don't take yourself to be the personality when you start to realize the truth, right? And you have some practice with that in meditation, but because you're practicing experiencing it. You're practicing experiencing your true nature, which is the absence of thought, the absence of the self-concept, right? So that's what you're practicing. And if the practice is sufficient for you to start to reorganize your understanding of your identity, right, then it becomes possible for you to die. Because the only death that ever happens is the death of the personality and the physical body, right? So if you take to these teachings and you do these practices and you start to have a direct experience of the relief and the realness and the aliveness of the awareness that is your true nature, right? And you start to experience the peace that's there, and you start to experience the sense of well-being that's there, and you start to enjoy that, and you start to practice more consistently in your ordinary everyday existence, and you start to have that show up there, right? So you are in a place that you can die. Now you're in a place that you can actually let go of the identity that you have maintained as a personality through your thinking and through your behavior, because that's the only way you maintain. That's the only way the personality maintains its existence, is through behavior. What do I mean by that? See, if the personality isn't real and it doesn't exist, then there has to be some magic, right? If it's not real and it doesn't exist, then there has to be some magic to have it seem as though it does. It has to be a magic trick, right? Well, the magic trick is that there's the body there, and then the body's behaving in time and space, right? And the head says, that's me. The head says, if I do this, I raise my arm. That's not true. One of the things that David Radin does sometimes when he wants to, get into the details with people, he asks them, let's do an experiment. Raise your arm like this. And then they raise their arm and say, how did you do that? They can't answer. They don't know. And yet they claim to have done it. Do you see? That's the magic. That's the magic. You claim to be the one that's moving the body when it moves. You claim to be the one that's producing the voice in the head. You claim to be the one that's having the emotions, right? So all you're doing is, since the awareness was actually there before the personality, right? Since the awareness was the horse in front of the cart, the awareness was there before the personality. What the personality does is it says, I was there first. It just says, what's happening with the personality is happening, right? And I'm causing that instead of that's causing me. It just puts itself in front of it instead of behind it, right? So in the practice of meditation, we're reversing the process, right? We're undoing that process. We're saying, look and see that in reality, in truth, that's not the case. All right? That's not the case. The concept that you have yourself, the concept that you believe you are was not here before awareness. Awareness had to be here first, and then you were conceiving yourself. Then you were conceptualizing yourself. But first you had to be here as awareness. That's, if you look at that, you can see that that makes sense, right? And yet that's not the way, in your ordinary way of functioning, that you're functioning. In the ordinary way that you're functioning, everything that's happening, the head claims it, doesn't it? Breathing, I'm breathing. That's why I say when you're practicing meditation, don't do that. A lot of people, when they don't understand, they'll say, okay, I'm practicing meditation, I'm watching my breath. You see the lie? I'm watching my breath. It doesn't help to practice lying. I'm not watching my breath, I'm watching the body breathing. I am not breathing. You can actually, if you actually look at the breathing reality, right? If you actually look at the body breathing, you can actually see that you're not breathing, the body's breathing. It's very important. One of the biggest beliefs that keeps us stuck in time and space and keeps us stuck in the belief that we're the personality is the idea that we're the physical body. It's in our language. You were born, what does that mean? It means the body was born, doesn't it? Yeah, when the body came out of the mother's womb, that was your birth. Well, the truth is, if you examine it, if you look at it, if you really look, that wasn't your birth. You weren't there when the body came out of the mother's womb. There was a baby that was born, and there was an awareness occurring there with the baby. There was no you at all. Wasn't there. You didn't show up until almost 2 years later, right? But people believe that you were there. See, this is how crazy it is, right? If your name is Frank, people believe that Frank existed when that baby came out of the mother. That was Frank. Don't they? That was Frank. So people don't know the truth, and people, they keep perpetuating through language and repetitive behaviors and traditions and beliefs and all that. They keep perpetuating a reality that doesn't exist. So all we're talking about here is get with the way it is. Maybe if you're living in alignment with reality, it might work. Maybe if you're living in alignment with reality, it might work instead of living out of alignment with reality. And that's the way almost all of humanity is approaching the experience of being a human being, is living outside of the reality that's there. And then wondering, why is this not working? And the people that are interested in making money say, oh, it's not working because you don't have this, but we have one for you.